G'day guys, welcome back to Solarpunk. Hope you're all doing well. And as you can see, in the previous episode we managed to get ourselves a couple of drones set up. I don't know if we've really managed to power them properly at this stage. So I probably do need to sort of figure out what the grid looks like. Maybe get an additional, windmill for additional power. I think the windmill produces quite a lot of power, but I probably need to just double check on how much power that is exactly. And as you can see, I've got a couple of muffins here in my hands right now. We do want to make a trade to, well, essentially get another blueprint, and then after that one, I think we should have another upgrade on our hands. Well, not immediately, obviously, we need to work towards it, but we'll be able to have access to it, provided we've got whatever the trader wants. Just gonna check on our farm. Our farm's looking good. I think we'll be able to sort of duck out to try to grab the blueprints and any sort of new things available to us out there before needing to come back to the farm. Let me also just work on stuff. I've got a lot of things on me because I feel like I might actually be using some of this soon if we're going to be upgrading our drone setup here. So, oh, look at that. Little Tetsu has come back to roost. So let's definitely grab what he has. So let me just grab that. And I might as well just throw this in to get processed immediately, or yeah, I guess I don't really have the ability to do that right now. No space. Okay, let's maybe free up some space, because while we're out there, might not be such a bad idea to go grab like ores and stuff. So that looks good. I somehow have a lot of wood on me. I don't know if I should be, hanging on to all of this, or if I should maybe let go of some of it, just so that we've got a bit more space for some ores. I'm not really building anything anytime soon, so maybe that does make sense. So, anywho, let's get out there and let's grab a blueprint. And let's try not to destroy the airship in the process like last time, shall we? Brilliant. Okay, we need 10 truffles for an airship upgrade. I think that's gonna be really easy to do, to be honest. And we need algae, so I assume algae is something that will come only after we've been able to progress further. So let's not worry about it. And those truffles, I mean, we could immediately grab them and drop them off if we wanted to, but I'm sort of wanting to slow things down a tiny bit and just get the drones set up correctly. So ideally we would have 3 drones going out there collecting stuff, and occasionally we'd need to make the trip all the way out to where the cobalt is. Speaking of making the trip to the cobalt, maybe we should do that. So yeah, I thought we might have needed to reset up dough here, but no, that is still working correctly. I guess maybe it'll only head out once things are full, so let's leave that to happen, because I'm not too desperate for some copper right now. If anything, it's going to be the cobalt that we need. So let's head out to the cobalt down south. And I suppose I could pick up some extra metal. I know we've got the drone picking up metal occasionally. But as it stands, because our setup is less than perfect, you know, I can't exactly guarantee the metal intake constantly right now. So picking up some right now will probably be beneficial for us. Getting a little late though. I wonder if I should just head home, or if I should go out to grab the cobalt. I think I won't be lazy this time. I'll definitely go out and grab the cobalt. Man, I do love this site. It is really picturesque. Almost feels like that would have made for a nice screenshot right there. Maybe I'll do that. Depending on what happens in this episode. I do like to try and hopefully make some of the screenshots a little bit more relevant to what's going on. Let's try and gain some altitude here. Yeah, I wonder if it'd be kind of cool to make something that would let us sort of light up the area a little bit. So, you know, those standing lamps that I tested out in the previous episode, I feel like those would be perfect for setting up where the drills are. The most ideal thing would be to set it up using some kind of a switch as well. But then I don't really want that to disrupt any drilling that's happening. But if I'm not mistaken, we have more energy than we need for a drill to be operational, right? Which means that at the same time we could be charging up a battery, and then, you know, as long as you've got a solar sensor to switch you know, the light on at night, I'm pretty sure you should have enough energy for it to last the entire night, right? In theory. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit creepy, because you can sort of see, like, behind you, and then, like, continue on doing, like, 360-degree view. That is not how anatomy works. Alright, bit of a late night trip, this one. Hopefully we should be set up for success tomorrow morning. Let's Grab that, and let's immediately process some iron, because I feel like we don't really have enough iron. I'll keep the rest here, because I would like to get some more cobalt ores as well. Been using the cobalt quite a bit for some of the latest tech that we have access to. But yeah, let's have a sleep. Actually, the farm might need looking after before we do anything. And perhaps maybe the animals might need looking after as well, come to think of it. Let's switch to watermelons. Perfect, alright. I think we're looking good there. Feed. Yeah, let's do a bunch. Since we have so much of this stuff. We've got so many sunflowers. Throw the extra in here, and unfortunately, I still need to do this. If you're watching along, and if any of you guys know how one would automate the filling of the water trough, feel free to enlighten me down below. I would love to know how to do that. Someone did leave a comment on a earlier episode about the generators, and apparently you'd only need like 16 wood planks to create a full charge. So I'd been wasting like half a stack of wood every single time I was charging them. So yeah, my bad, I didn't even realize, but we got through it in the end. So grab that. If we ever get back to using those generators, we, you know, at least now know that we shouldn't really be dropping everything in there. Okay. Looking good. So, what we want to arrange is another windmill. And to do that, we need some extra cobalt and some extra silicon. We shall check on whether or not we've got any of it sitting around. Probably just the silicon, unfortunately. But we're gonna need to wait for some cobalt to be ready. And then maybe another thing I need to check on is whether or not I've got some spare cables. Which, yeah, it doesn't look like I do. Then we do want an additional drone, right? So things are unpowered. Don't know why. Perhaps maybe I've connected too many of them and the grid is completely down. In which case, what would be a good idea is to get another grid viewer. I forget what you call those exactly. There we go. So, I do need some cables for it though. So let's just grab that and let's just figure out what's happening with this entire system here. Okay, so we've got 2 transport drones. Each one requires 300. I see. Okay. So in order to actually operate these two, we're going to need 3 windmills. Which is... yeah, that's a lot of windmills. So it's almost... yeah, I guess 1.5 windmills each. So if we want 3, then that's going to be even more, obviously. So maybe it's time for us to rethink the positioning of some of this stuff. And also, do we want the entire operation happening out here? I mean, I've purposefully not gotten a drill out there because I think it's a bit of an eyesore. I wonder if I should keep it there or if I should move it. I think I'll still keep it there. It's only on the sort of, when you look out that way, it's in the peripheral vision and it's not so bad. But yeah, I do need to maybe tidy up a few things here and there and just maybe condense the placement of all of these things. So give us a little bit of extra space to work with. There's, yeah, okay, quite a bit of clipping there. Doesn't look so good. Yeah, let's try our best. Heaps of clipping there. I wonder if I could even move the airship dock somewhere else. I just don't know where would be a good place for it. If I got a dock set up there, that would shorten trips, but then I would have to sort of go all the way around to get back home. Alternatively, I could build like a staircase that gets me up this way. That might not be so bad, actually. So I tell you what, guys, perhaps maybe what we could do is set that up there temporarily, because we do still need to be able to come in and out while we're, you know, figuring things out. And building the staircase to get all the way up that way is going to take a while. We do have the wood for it. And so now we should have plenty of space here to get in a few more windmills. I don't know about having solar panels. We could potentially get rid of the solar panels and just use the windmills instead. I wonder if windmills are a little bit more reliable as a source of energy. Sorry, we need the cobalt, don't we? I think that's going to be enough cobalt. Oh, and I'll just set this up again. We might move it when we need to. We probably don't even need to have it permanently installed, right? Because what we could potentially do is just place it down when we actually need it. When we're transferring some animals across. So let's deal with our thirst and also deal with our hunger there. It's 2 eggs for 1, like, sunny side. That's not fair. Should be 1 to 1. Alright, farm is still looking good. Let's get a windmill. And let's set it up. So this is gonna guarantee that we can operate these 2. That's for sure, right? So I can definitely get 1 installed like so. That'll just do its thing. Hook that up. And let's have a look at the grid. So 400... plus we get another 100 from the solar panel. And what I'm gonna do is just remove that initially, just so that we can get Tetsu going out there doing his thing. And if I sort of do a quick swap here, I can send this guy off as well. Nice. And then now both of these are sort of like retrieving power. And then once they land, they'll recharge, obviously. So yeah, one additional windmill is definitely something that we want. So let's continue smelting and preparing all of these materials. I think I should have enough silicon for one more. If not, I've got plenty of the ores. Actually, I might not have the silicon. Okay. Plenty of copper. Let's have a look. So, just waiting on the cobalt and waiting on silicon. So, let me switch things up over here. So, we can now get some more silicon going. Yeah, these upgrade, upgrade circuitry or whatever it is, we do need to get those so that we can obviously get more per flight. Increase the efficiency of these things. And in terms of, like, where we're keeping these drones operating from, I think I don't mind them sort of just living here. Okay, that's actually a big hole. Throw that there. Throw that in there as well. Might want to start thinking about growing more carrots. Got plenty of raspberries here, which I might just want to drop. Don't know why I dropped some copper ores in there. Dough. I suppose maybe I can make some more unbaked raspberry. Oh, I need some eggs. Unbaked raspberry muffins, rather. Yeah, brilliant. Anything else here that I want to drop in? Maybe not. Make a little bit of honey. Okay. Hopefully that's going to be enough. Perfect. Alright. So let's grab another windmill. But again, I would like an additional transport drone, which means that we're going to need yet another windmill, which means we're going to need, yeah, heaps of stuff. Heaps more cobalt, heaps more silicon, etc, etc. So I think maybe getting the windmill first wouldn't be such a bad idea, just so that we don't have such a blockage. Kind of want the windmills to have similar spacing where possible. Maybe let's get rid of this as well. for the time being. Yeah, the spacing looks good to me. So, quickly set that up there. And then let's hook things up. So, and then how are we looking here? So 630. Cool. So we're definitely getting more than we need. Why is Tetsu gone but Do's still sort of here? Maybe the copper ores aren't ready yet? Or maybe I just need to collect. Okay, right. Forgotten to collect. Open the inventory. Collect. There we go. Alright. So, come to think of it, it's more than just 200 energy. It's actually more like 210 on a good day. Maybe it could be less on some, like, poorer days. Maybe. But we definitely want an additional one. Maybe an additional 2, in fact, because another drone is going to cost another, what, 300, right? So we'll probably need 2 more. So yeah, it is pretty expensive to get things running through drones. But definitely willing to do it. So let's just figure out what the important things are first to try and get. I'm sure I'm gonna need a little bit more iron eventually, but I think maybe we prioritize the silicon and cobalt. And let's double check on what's going on here. Brilliant. Time for some watermelons immediately, because we were pretty thirsty there. Should bake some of this raspberry muffin, but I'm not in a rush to do that. So yes, we do have a little bit of a waiting game here. We may as well make a start with rehousing the airship dock. So I'm thinking we want to use this sort of natural platform area to make it all the way up. So let's see what we can do. Okay, that didn't take as long as I thought, but we definitely want a few embellishments here and there, so... Okay, we'll try to keep the area clean and clear. The question is, do we want to perhaps go a tiny bit higher like that? And then... Maybe. I mean, landing from here and then, you know, approaching our house from this side does look really, really nice though, doesn't it? I don't know, there's just something about it. It looks impressive from here. Not so much looking too impressive from up there, but perhaps what we could do is maybe we could set up like a few outdoorsy type things here, so you know we could have a thing where, you know, maybe seats or whatever, and we can enjoy the view of the house from this side. Maybe even set up some fencing. Could be interesting. But yeah, a nice overview of the house and the property in general. So, could work, potentially. Okay, I think the airship dock will go here. Or would it be over here? I just don't want it to be like too visible, I suppose. But at the same time, I don't want it to be too far from the house. I suppose we can move it, so maybe I shouldn't fret too much. And maybe additional clearing of stuff I'll probably leave until we understand how it's all going to function a little bit more. So, only thing though is I will just replant some of these trees straight away. Random bit of silicon here, or quartz. Alright, I will come back to, you know, building this staircase a little bit more, but for now, let me head back and let's just quickly set additional things up here. So, yeah, let's just do a tiny bit more quartz there. I might actually have enough for the additional windmill. Oh no, I need a tiny bit more silicon. Right, so there we go. Good times. I don't have a battery though. Not battery, sorry, cables. So let me just set that up. Speaking of batteries, we will need a battery eventually. I think that's a decent amount of space. Let's take a look here. So we've got 800. Definitely need one more though. One more, and then we go in with a battery. Or, maybe an alternative way of sort of doing things is we could get a solar panel A solar panel will actually give us... Oh, hang on, look at that. So that's actually bringing us over 900. I guess it's just a really windy day today, so at times you might actually get a surplus amount of energy. So much so to the point where you can power more drones. Okay. Maybe I need to hold off on an additional power source, and maybe the answer is getting a battery set up instead. And if we can, you know, direct everything into the battery and charge the battery at the same time, we might have enough power for everything. Hang on a second. One concern I have, though, is if these guys are operating using a battery, will we be able to have enough charge from the battery for all three? It might not work out, right? Because the battery can only charge things so much in terms of output, I believe. But anyway. I'll get the battery first, and we'll sort out the details later. Battery, I need just a tiny bit more silicon. Okay, how are things going here? How's the water looking? Bit low. Probably already need some more feed. Oh, this one's still pretty full, actually. I wonder if there's going to be, like, automation for looking after farm animals. That wouldn't be such a bad thing. Okay, I guess the real test is going to be when we place down one more transport drone. Because that's going to break the grid as it stands at the moment, because the battery is taking 200. I suppose, hang on, is it taking 200 because of the surplus? Maybe, and it probably can only charge that fast, right? Because at the moment we've got 920, this is just 800. If we get the additional transport drone, that's going to bring that to 900, and then the battery will have 20. So technically it will still charge, but a little slower. And that's okay. I'm happy with that. So what's going to stop us from getting there is the cobalt. So I'll probably need to go out and fish out some cobalt. So we'll definitely do that. Just don't want to leave this place in disarray or anything like that. Oh, hang on. What's going on? Oh, we've got rain coming in. I suppose when it's rainy, the windmills would probably be getting a lot of wind power. Oh my goodness, look at that. That's crazy. Yeah. So it'll charge heaps. Alright. Let me add a little bit more. And then I might want to tuck a few things in here and there. Just give us a little bit more space. Plenty of iron. Actually, iron is looking a little low as well. Maybe I do need to get a batch of iron going. I want to have some food. And have a drink as well. This is maybe a good chance for us to use the water bottle. Actually, I should be doing it from here. Yeah, that's a lot faster, obviously, doing it from there. But I do need to just, like, bring it back here to store it all. Can I grab just a little bit more water? Perfect. I know it's a little messy here, but that's okay. Let's head out, and let's see if we can grab some cobalt. Comes one of our drones. Yeah, very cool that they are actually in-game and they don't just like simply disappear off into nothingness. Now, we have gone out in a storm. Perhaps maybe not the best thing to do. But, I've never been struck by lightning ever in this game, so I'm hoping that that's not a thing. We've probably left it a little bit late in the day as well. Maybe it is actually night. I have no way of telling at the moment. I just hear some kind of alarm chime? I think what's going on here is, I may actually be either too low or too high in altitude. Because we are over where we need to be. Again, this is probably a good time or a good excuse to be making those markers that we can place down. I'm trying to descend at the moment, but maybe what we're looking for is actually above us. Okay. Sky's clearing a little bit. Ah, oh, there it is. Okay, it is above us. Is it? No, those are clouds. I'm so confused right now. There we are. Yeah, okay, we've definitely drifted way above where we needed to be. Actually, we managed to get so high. Actually quite far. I wonder if there has anything to do with, like, the wind, and if the wind actually pushes the airship about. I don't feel any struggle, though, as I'm flying around in the storm. Oh my god. What? Guys. What just happened? You all saw that. I've been, like, literally just teleported back here. Yeah, that was weird. Guys are going gangbusters right now. Let's... Look, considering all the difficulty, I'm gonna have a sleep. I should have been patient and just done this to begin with, but... here we are. It's a very windy morning. One thing that would be nice is some kind of a compass on the HUD. Be nice to be able to see which direction you might actually be going to without having to open up the map constantly. Anyway, look, that's where we're headed there. Straight ahead. Let's not muck about. So we're gunning for an additional drone, and I have been thinking about what I wanted to do with this additional drone. And perhaps maybe what we could do is to have the drone set up to pick up cobalt instead of the silicon or quartz. Now the reason why I'm thinking that's a better thing to do is because I think we can easily go out and pick up quartz without too much of an issue. In fact, maybe we could even switch things up and have, instead of, you know, quartz, maybe we can still automate quartz, but maybe what we don't need to automate is picking up copper. The only reason for that is because copper is so close, and, you know, that won't actually be that time consuming. Maybe. Because initially I sort of thought maybe we can do cobalt because, well, we don't need much of cobalt. Only for, you know, some more advanced tech, I suppose, needs cobalt. But then, now that I think about it, it is a bit of a trip, isn't it, to try and get yourself some cobalt every single time. So yeah, maybe it's better to automate stuff that's further away. Boy, what an ordeal just to get a tiny bit. Yeah, so I'm hoping maybe the 4 or 5 windmills is actually going to be enough for our needs, and we won't need any more. It's really about just placing down this drone now. Alright, so all of this stuff should be done now. Let's throw in some cobalt immediately. And what else do we need? We might need some silicon. Okay, good times. Let's just check on the farm. I think the farm probably needs attention. Oh my goodness, yeah. Too much mucking about on the airship, and this is what happens. So, let's fix all of this. Do we need more sunflowers? I think I can give the sunflowers a rest. And then we could probably go in with some cotton. Only problem with the cotton is that it matures way faster than everything else, so the chances of our crops being lost is a lot higher when that happens. Alright, so should be looking good. I guess there's carrots, right? We should be growing some carrots. Do I need more feed right now? Probably not. So probably still need to wait a little bit more on the silicon and whatnot. So let me just do a few bits and pieces here. But I would like to end the episode on one additional drone being set up. If I can. But we'll make a nice start on putting a few details. So let's do that. Yeah, that's sticking into the ground already, so that's good. Yep, looking good. And then the idea is we add some of these things here. I think that's probably appropriate. Okay, getting there. Let's check back on our smelters. Yeah, I can't remember how much silicon we need. We probably do need to wait. I'm guessing it's like 15. $16, in fact. Alright, so that looks pretty good to me. Maybe we could, like, do something fancy here, like an arch or whatever. Just to make it look a little bit nicer. And, yeah, again, I'll need to move the dock, so we'll get that done. Is it entirely necessary? Well, I was thinking we would need an additional windmill, but now that I know that the windmills can produce so much energy, maybe we could even leave the airship dock here if we really wanted to, but I think it's probably for the best to move it, to be honest, and we'll have this area as our specialized sort of delivery area, including the animal delivery platform. There we go, 16. Bit more extra cobalt. Let's do this. Transport drone. We have... I don't have cables. Get another set of cables and we should be good. And it is powered, so the only issue is just checking on the grid. So we definitely have excess power right now, but there are going to be some days where it's not so windy, and we'll probably need to sort of figure out how things operate with all of that considered, right? So let's do... that, and I do need to set it, right? So I'll need to go out to the cobalt mine again and just make sure that we tag the drone to pick things up from there, and we should be sweet. Again, I'll probably switch up this drone here, and I'll probably change its name and make sure that it's picking up quartz. So... the only thing that we need to pick up manually right now is, well, moving forward, will be copper. So I think that's probably a good setup. Right, guys, I think it's time to call it an episode. A lot of stuff happened in this one. I feel really productive, aside from that small section where we flew all the way to the cobalt place and then suddenly got teleported back. I have no idea what happened there, but maybe that's a bug of some kind. Anywho, with that, signing out. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.